Another thing that's driving me crazy lately is that these fucking science-based guys, let's not even call them that because we get in trouble when we say that. Individuals who adhere to a scientific-based approach, we'll say, are, when they make videos and they make content, and it goes for the whole group of you guys, like the whole group, not one individual, the entire group. Pause on that. It's like they say something, they'll explain something, you know, for a long time we thought this, or a lot of people have done this for a while, and now we've understood, now we've discovered, they say we've, like they're a part of like some secret society of like people who are just analyzing exercise science all day. Meanwhile, they looked at like one scholarly article on Google, and they're like, oh, I fucking understand it now better. I'm gonna look at it from a different way. But like this whole idea of like, we, like you're not, when it's you saying something, do not say we. And when you're talking about, like, it's the same with bodybuilders. When you say, you know, I think we brought a better package this year. It's you, dude. It's you on stage. It's the individual. There's no we. Like, the other person didn't eat the food for you, didn't pose for you, didn't lift the weight for you. So just say, I did this with the help of these people, right? The same thing when you're a science guy. Don't say we when you're not included in the we. You're not the one doing the research. You're not the one who paid for the study. You didn't do like you didn't organize the study, get it paid for, find the participants, go over this, look at musculoskeletal systems. You're the one who's coming up with this on your own, and you're reporting back to other people. So be like, don't say we, say I read something other people found out, and I'm telling you about it now. Don't be like, research has indicated through my studies. Like it's like claiming like, it's like watching ESPN and seeing the statistics of the last like Chiefs game, and you're like, yeah, I mean, we rushed for 200 yards yesterday, and da-da-da. It's like, no, dude, you didn't do shit. The Chiefs did. You're not a part of that. It's no we. You may like them as a team, but like, you're not a part of that shit. So don't be like, you know, and like on third down conversions, we're 41% this year. It's like, no, you're not. They are. Just be you, dude. It's okay.
So what do you think the biggest difference is between like science-based lifters and like other kinds of lifters, like yourself?
Well, I don't think that there's one. They can complement each other. They don't need to be individual groups. They don't need to be segregated. It's like there's plenty of like science-based guys out there who have educational backgrounds and degrees and PhDs that are contributing to the sport in many ways. Like John Jewett's a guy, hypertrophy coach is a guy. Like it's like these guys are all reputable dudes and know what they're talking about. But when you get like these random internet kids who like are just biting their style, like Mike Israel is like literally a doctor of exercise physiology or whatever it is, but it's like, I'm not too much of a fan of him as an individual, but I mean, I'm not going to discredit his accreditations or like what he's accomplished, but like, and also what he says helps and doesn't help at the same time. So it's like, and it's also like I said before in another video that seemed to get me in a lot of hot water. It's like the results aren't coming with the information you're providing for you. Maybe it's helping other people. I don't know that because I don't see them, but like your information isn't carrying over into your personal development. So like, I don't know why it's hard for me to take everything you say as like the truth or like what I should be doing because I'm not seeing it in you. I'm not seeing what's happening with you. I've never seen you be 300 pounds. I'm not just talking to Mike right now. I'm talking to every one of these guys. I've never seen you achieve what someone who's not science-based or is a bro lifter has achieved. And it's like the fact that, like I said in the last video, like the fact that like you're doing this, there's a studies being done, research being done, whatever being done, and they're basically proving bro science type stuff or bro way of lifting. They're basically confirming it through their studies. But like we've known that for fucking decades, dude. Like, why did it need to be proven for you to understand that it works when it visually has been shown to work, right? Like, so-and-so lifts like this. He got this big and was this massive and was this great of a bodybuilder or an athlete, and it's like, and he just did this shit. And it's because he did it this way and he did this way. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, why though? It's like, what do you mean why? Like, why is right there? Because it became that. Like, He became that. That's why he did that. And like, yeah, he could have done it another way, but he didn't want to. And he did it the way he did. So why don't you look at that guy and be like, he did this, he took this style of approach, he trained this way with this intensity, with this whatever. I'm going to emulate that. And if you want to explain it in your mind or like kind of make it easier to digest for people so they can do the same thing, maybe they don't understand or they can't conceptualize what they're doing. But to come out and say like, I'm the authority on lifting, meanwhile I look nothing like these people and I've never helped anyone like that. Like, it's kind of like you're very narcissistic in the sense that like you're not the dude, you're just one of the many dudes contributing to this. And just because you have a PhD beside your name or after your name doesn't mean that you're more qualified to talk about lifting. It does in a textbook sense. Like, I'm not going to be giving a lecture at fucking Harvard about fucking biomechanics, but like, you want to go train with me? I'll bet you I'll give you a better training session than any of those guys out there. And I bet you you'll feel shit you never felt before. Not where you're supposed to feel it, where it actually is felt. I mean, it's the difference between these guys that'll take someone to the gym, like the guys I mentioned excluded, but like these average science-based guys, they're gonna take stuff in the gym, they're gonna get people to do very difficult things at a very slow tempo and like a very controlled tempo, and the people don't breathe well, they don't move well, so everything looks like it's so much harder because this person's having them do it in like this, like, and they're like, oh yeah, I feel it. For sure. It's like, it just doesn't mean it's working, man. Like, the idea of intensity, the idea of working out and working out hard and getting results is like, one, intensity is number one. Whatever your definition of intensity is. It's not my definition, it's not his definition, it's your individual. Are you training intensely? Are you training with enough weight? And are you training with enough volume? And those are all individual things that vary between each person. They're not the same for everybody, but you have to understand all those things when you're training. But intensity has to be there. You can't just like mill about in here and like loiter. You know what I mean? Like, I just come here and I did back for 3 hours just because I was like, had nothing else to do that day. It's like, yeah, man, you wasted 2 hours. You could have done that all in an hour and like actually got your blood pumping and like make your body work hard, and then you could get out of the gym and go recover and add 2 hours to your recovery instead of taking 2 hours away from your recovery. You know what I mean? So that's my beef with these guys is that, one, they don't train people. They don't train anybody. So they don't see how what they're talking about doesn't work for the average person or apply. And if they did, they'd have a better understanding of being like, okay, this is supposed to work this way or go this way, but I can see through like the 20 people I work with that it doesn't. Or it works for one guy, it works for another guy, I have to adjust it for this guy, adjust for this girl just doesn't get it at all, we had to abandon it. You're gonna see through that dealing with like random people that like what you're talking about in textbooks and what seems to be right is not correct. It doesn't transfer over into the real world. Like literally, I would say in the low percentages of time, like 10% of the time, people get it. Because people just don't know how to move in general. So unless you teach them how to move or move properly or understand where to put their attention, you can have all the great intention in the world of telling them how to do something, but their setup's wrong, where they're starting the pulls from wrong, where they're starting the pushes from wrong, their head's wrong, their neck's too tight, this and this. And you can't see that shit unless you're training someone and you have an eye for it, right? So just giving people a program and being like, this is the optimal way to do it. Do it like I said and showed in the video. In the video, it's a demonstration with like 20 pounds and they're like, it's like, okay, well what happens when it becomes 60 pounds? Are you gonna be still not breathing and pushing out calmly? Like, no, you're gonna have to exert yourself. And that's when the wheels come off, right?
Curl your overhead press, just like this. I know everyone's done somewhere. You may be a beginner, you may not be very strong. Once you get strong,
you're a beginner and you're not very strong.
Bicep curl, your overhead press. I just did a set of 35s for 6 reps, and I can't curl 35s up to my arms. So, an easier way to do that is to use your knees as leverage. I bring my butt to the front of the seat. I bring my knee to my chest, bring it up. Knee to my chest, bring it up.
He made a video about this, how to get the weight up.
I do my work, and come down, I bring my knee to my gut.
You shouldn't be able to curl. Like, yeah, and everyone knows you go like this and kick the weight up. Like, what was everyone doing before? It's like I sit down with the 55s. It's like until that video was made, everyone was trying to pick their dumbbells up like this. Just like, get here, like. how do I get it up? Like, they're just like not. Like, what were they doing? Wouldn't it make sense for you to go like this? Like, it doesn't, like, that's not like common sense. Like, okay, man, time to press. Oh, shit. What the fuck? Fucking Jesus. It's like, this is what I mean. Like, this is what I'm saying to you guys. Like, we're, as content creators or people who put out content, we have nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. So people are like, oh, Mike makes videos, he makes fun of these people and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, because it's stupid. And I can make content off your stupidity because like everyone knows that shit, dude. You're not like educating people. I bet that guy's 100,000 followers. How many does he have? Like 8, he probably has like 800,000 bot followers. Oh, fucking shit, dude. It's just like, but you got 10,000 views average. Let's say like even less, maybe 15,000 views average on your page on a video, but you have 228,000 followers. How does that work? None of your followers are watching your video? That's like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just fucking, this whole Instagram society is just fucking full of shit. Like, you get 20,000 views, 15,000 views, you can grab it. You scared?
I don't know if you're.
Oh, can bring your hand over here. It's like, don't get my hand in the shot. I'm self-conscious about my hands. Every day we come in here, I try and think of stuff that like has like helped a different client of mine, or stuff that I'm trying to do new in the gym that's like gonna help people understand things better, like analyze my own movement. But it's like, to make videos, like if people are expecting that type of content to come out of someone like me or like other people like me, where it's like, show us the basics, man. How would you set up an optimal dumbbell press? Like, fuck you. Like, fuck out of here. Like, this isn't the channel for that. Like, go to fucking Dipshit's channel and like do that. Like, oh, Chris, whatever that guy's name is. Chris showed me how to kick up the dumbbell and now I press them easier. Like, nothing about pressing them or how to do it. Like, if you're still worried about how to get the dumbbell up to your shoulder, you need to not be watching my videos. Like, you're not there yet. Like, go somewhere else and come on back. Like, over explaining stuff and making videos like you're speaking to someone who's an idiot who has never lifted weights before. Do you understand the percentage of that amount of people? You understand that market is like, if there's a pie chart, it's this tiniest sliver of a fucking pie chart. The rest of it's full of people of like, are you aware of what working out is? Do you understand conceptually what that is? Have you been to a gym? It's all red, and then there's like a little yellow sliver like this. It's like, don't worry about these people. It's not a lot of people. Like, don't worry about them. Like, just fucking, they'll catch up eventually and become part of the majority. Like, they don't need help. Like, that's fucking insane. What are you gonna teach people how to load a plate on a bar? When you wanna lift out, when you wanna work out, you gotta come over here. These plates, they go on this bar. Boom. But don't just put one on. You need to even out the other side and put one on there. Because if you tried to lift it up now, it would tip over. But if we put equal amount on this side, now it's level and you can pick it up. It's like, thanks, man. You're awesome, bro. It's fucking crazy, bro. I just find that like the content creator space is like, in light of recent events, is just full of fucking absolute snakes and losers. Just like leeching off each other. They'll take like people's downfall and like make videos on it, and or what they perceive to be their downfall or a chance to attack them. Is like, they take it as like, it's not like a person they're talking about, it's like an opportunity for them. Like, oh, this is some content. Like, this is some content for me to talk about, other than like showing people how to kick up dumbbells or doing another video about how good this pre-workout is. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just news. And half of them aren't invested even in what's going on with that event. They're just like, oh, we need to talk about that because it's like content for a week. It's content for a week that'll end up you'll regretting it the rest of your life. And then you're like, oh, I got some views though. Got some views. I made $700 on Google AdSense. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you can see the creators who are declining are like, they're grabbing at straws to keep stuff interesting. Because the number one thing is like, they go up to people and they interview people in the gym. That shit needs to stop, dude. That is the stupidest shit under this fucking planet. Girls are the most guilty of it, because there'll be some like chick who thinks she's hot, or like some fucking, she'll have her tits out and like, guys, do you like to squat or do you hack squat? And they're like, oh, to do squats because, and like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, a guy's gonna answer, because it's like, to him, it's like, whoo, one, she's cute and I get to be in her video, oh, cool. Like, and I'll stand like this the whole time, like with like a little pose, like a little flex on, like, yeah, I don't know, I mean, just, I like hack squats because they hit my, they bias my quads more. The girl's like, what's bias? Like, it's like fucking, it's like, the best, like, girls, I understand it. It's like, it's a competitive space out there for you ladies. So, I don't know, you're trying to appeal to the sex appeal thing, I actually like working out thing, the I need brand deals thing, like, you're trying to be a jack of all trades, right? Like, I'm gonna appeal to the masses, because I need my ass to carry me through to the next level, or my tits, right? But like when guys do it, I had someone go up to me the other day, like, obviously I don't like being filmed by other people. I think people have established that now. I film by myself, and there's a reason why I don't want to be in your content, is because you're a fucking weirdo, and I don't want to be associated with your shit. So, going forward, just know that. That's why the shirt's on. Don't film without express written permission from me. But like, you see a guy, and these are like pro bodybuilders who are very gifted and very talented. I may not be a fan of them anymore, but there's no doubt that there's no doubting their talent and their ability and what they've done, right? But like, you've relegated yourself now to be a fucking tabloid bodybuilder reporter and interviewing people in the gym. So you go up to the people in the gym and you're like, would you date someone if they had an OnlyFans? Like, it's like, what? I'm working out, man. What the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm fucking trying to do tricep press ons. And they're like, oh, I don't know, man. Meanwhile, like, that guy's done gay for pay. And fucking the girl, they asked the girl, and she actually has an OnlyFans, and she's like, I would never. But like, you have one. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's fucking fascinating to me. Like, they're sitting around at night and they're like, what's some like really helpful, inspiring stuff we could do? Let's ask people today whether they like bagels or muffins better at the gym. Oh, for sure bagels, man. I mean, they got a hole in the middle. It's tough to eat. It's like, the stuff falls out the middle, but you get to like lick in the hole. It's cool, man, right? Like, it's just weird shit. Like, if you don't have anything to say, just don't say anything. Like, wait till you have stuff to say in a video and make a video. Unless, I guess these guys are, girls think they're like obligated because they've been told by someone that the algorithm of YouTube is like, it promotes you more if you do more posting, and like it likes when you post more content. It's like, post what the fuck you want. Keeping up with this fucking like rat race of like content. It's like, people don't care, man. They really don't give a fuck. So just wait till you have something to say. Don't reduce yourself, especially when you're like an IFBB pro or like an established guy. Don't be the same person as the jacked ass little girl running around with her tits out, interviewing guys about like, what's your boxers or briefs? And you're the equivalent of that in men. Like, and you're like, bro, no lifting straps or no lifting straps? And it was like, no straps, get strong hands. It's like, fuck off, man. Like, thanks for that. That really made us feel great. It's just like, I understand. It's like, you have to keep the entertainment going or keep fucking something up on there so that you feel like you don't fade into oblivion. But the thing is, if you're someone worth talking about and you're giving valuable information out, or you think you are, or your goal is to help people, that will be seen through, and you don't need to do all this chintzy fucking weird shit. Like, doing skits and shit's fucking hilarious. If you got a funny idea, fucking go for it. There's some hilarious shit out there I've seen lately, like that Eric Janicki guy did a couple things, and like fucking, they're funny as fuck. Like, that shit's funny. When you can poke fun at yourself, or you can poke fun at other people, and you know you're not being like malicious about it, but it's like all these prank videos and all this fucking weirdo, like, I want to interview you shit, put the person on the spot, and they're kind of like, like, it's like, what are we doing, man? Like, why don't you just go up to them and be like, what are you working out today? And they're like, oh, I'm doing biceps. Like, you want me to show you a cool bicep exercise? And they'd be like, okay. Like, that would actually help the person. They'd be like, cool. Like, yeah, I want to see it. Or fix what they're doing for them. Be like, you know, if you just do this, maybe this will help a little bit. Just saying, I was watching you from over there. I'm like, watching you. Just stalker them, you know? Stalk help people in the gym. I'm just sick of the whole fucking industry and the whole fucking way of going about things. It reeks of desperation, right? Like, do you know what I mean? But, you know, on that depressing note, that's all I'll say. For the majority of them, yes, but it depends on how you're. I can't watch that. It's fucking give me like, I feel like I'm in a horror movie. For like one of the things he's doing, right? If I sit here, so he's saying that you shouldn't be. Hold on, I think that's. I'm rounded right here. You can see my back's rounded, and I've got my weight down on my triceps and my elbow, and I'm rocking up through. Like, yes, posturally, that's not right, but to get my arm out in front of me and have my arms work on their own. If I put my chest weight on here like he's doing, so he's saying don't be here, be here. As you can see when I'm here, I don't get as much range. Like my arm wants to turn in, so you see my hand here, it wants to do that as I go down further. It wants to supinate, or so it wants to pronate. So I'm getting pulled out of my supination into this position which I don't want. Whereas if I keep myself grounded, so I keep my elbow hanging over the side, I put my tricep weight on here, and I relax my body weight onto the top of this pad and onto the back of my triceps, and keep my head's back technically, my head's not here, my head's pressed up against the, like in line with my back, and I'm rocking here. So I can be loose in my hands and I can slide. So I never get to this point where my hand wants to go like that. I always stay supinated. So my weight can stay on the outside of my hand. One, because I'm tight closer to the weight, my weight is forward, so my hand doesn't take as much of the load. My load is on my chest pad, so I'm here. I'm not being up here and having my hand pulled away from me, and then I have to like grab it again. That's how tears happen. So if I want to put weight into the bench more, I want to be down on here and hanging. And I want to have bend in that elbow, and I want to have tension on that outside index finger knuckle. So I'm just rocking here. Curling shouldn't be thought of as like necessarily curling, like I'm going from here on an arc around. I should literally be looking at my hands here, and I should feel like I'm sliding my hands right up my head. So I'm literally trying to slide my hands like this. So straight line diagonal from here, right out here. There's no arc. Most efficient way to move anything is a straight line, right? So to people, this is built on an arc, so when I curl, it looks like an arc. But in my mind, I'm conceptualizing it and I'm moving in a way that I'm literally letting my hands out here. So if I just kept it on my knuckle, this knuckle, my knuckle goes flat here, my knuckle goes flat here. So I'm literally scooping my hand flat, and this knuckle, outside edge of this knuckle of my index finger is sliding beside my ear. And my weight is on this pad. So my weight is forward on stuff, just like doing back work. I'm here, I don't sit back on stuff. I don't get up in tight to here and curl, because I can't get any range. You can see your shoulders come up, and this wants to hyperextend. I never want to hyperextend my elbow, so I want to be forward. So even if this is out at its full length, I'm not hyperextended. I'm still a little bent. Whereas if I sit up taller, it's pulling on my fucking elbow, right? Most of them are true, like what he's saying. It's like, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that. As for he did dips, and he came up and he was doing a dip like this, and he had his back pinched, and then he opens his back like this and says you should be dipping like that. Well, that depends what you're trying to do with the dip. Am I trying to work outer chest on the dip and I'm pressing out like this? Or am I trying to get into my tricep and lock triceps out? Then I'm going to want my shoulders to collapse in. I want my back to pinch. So again, it's like these blanket tick, tock, quick, and like X, green check. It's like, no, dude, like, explain more. Do one video where you do the X and the green check, and then explain why the green check is the right way to do it and what makes it right. Don't just like, because these kids, they're so fucking ADD that they're like, oh, yeah, and they go do it. And they're like, ping, ping, oh, ah. It doesn't work like that, bro. I wish it was that simple. Fuck. If it was that simple, do you know how big we'd all be? We'd be massive. Like, every one of us would just be jacked out of our skull, because we like, this is the way you do this thing, and that's the way you do that thing, and we all do it the same way, and we just fucking get huge. It's like, if it was that simple, life would be amazing. We'd all be jacked out of our minds and just walking around like meatheads, like, fucking working out's easy, man. It's fucking, just gotta watch those right and wrong videos. Yeah. Yeah. That's all I got.